Hey guys, welcome to my Geek Talk. So today, let's discuss Obi-Wan and Anakin. I'm just gonna say it right now, I really like this comic, guys. This might be up there with my love for Kanan. Now, I know it's just the start of the comic, so we haven't really gotten everything out of it, so I can't say for sure that I love the entire series, but so far it's starting off the way I wanted to. So basically, this is taking place sometime between episodes 1 and 2. It's a few years after Anakin has become Obi-Wan Kenobi's Padawan learner after Qui-Gon requested it, and they're on a mission to a world named, again, I'm really bad with names. Let me look at what the heck the name of the Carnelian 4 is the name of the planet that they're going to. And they're there just to do like a rescue mission, or they gotta they're doing a meeting there, and they crash land because it's really foggy at the planet or whatever. But then they get there, they start talking about the planet. Obi-Wan shows that it's a dead planet, that it used to have civilization there, but it killed itself. It was like a civil war, and you know, basically like how today, how everybody fears how we could have like a nuclear war, and you know, we all just kill each other. Basically, this is what this planet goes through. They kill each other. And Anakin says, well, I mean, if the Jedi were around, why didn't we help them? Why didn't we save them? And Obi-Wan says, well, you see, we're under the Senate, and this planet was not part of the Republic because it didn't have any resources that the Republic cared for. And I was just like, that's so perfect. Like, that's exactly, like, people hate the political intrigue of the prequels. That's usually one of their gripes about it. I think the issue with the prequel trilogy is that it was a little boring in the sense that it showed the courtroom situations. They could still talk about the political stuff that's going on within the universe without having to actually see, like, you know, Congress, you know, sit down and just watch Congress happen. But I do like the prequels for the fact that, you know, stuff like this is being thought about and is being discussed, because that happens in real life. You know, like, we won't help certain countries as, like, you know, the US, because they don't have anything that will benefit us, and, you know, that kind of a thing. And that just happens within history, period. I don't want to get too political with this video, but I like that this is brought up here in the comic book. And I love how Anakin is the one who's like, we should be helping them, because that's always been Anakin's thing. He wants to help people. He wants to use his power to free slaves from Tatooine, you know, just have power to save, you know, the people that he loves and the government that he loves, to the point where he's a little bit too prideful and things like that, which comes up in the comic itself. At one point, Anakin expresses that he wants to get out of the Jedi Order. Obi-Wan mentions it. He's like, oh, you're still talking about wanting to leave the Order? And they do like a flashback to when they were at the Jedi Academy. And what's actually really cool about this is that what we see, the scene, is Anakin is actually in the dueling arena, and he's actually facing off against one of the dueling droids. My guess is because none of the other kids can defeat Anakin, and that's the reason why they're all just watching him fight this droid. But the cool thing about it is that this droid transforms himself into a version of Darth Maul, and it's something that Anakin programmed into the droid itself, because Obi-Wan, as he's talking to Mace Windu and Palpatine, says like, whoa, I wasn't expecting the droid to do that. He had questions about the Dark Lord and the Sith, but I didn't know it was gonna manifest into him actually wanting to fight a droid that replicates Darth Maul's moves. And then, you know, Anakin just takes it out real easy. Obviously, guys, don't take this wrong. This is not him defeating Darth Maul. This is him fighting something that he heard from Obi-Wan of how Darth Maul would fight with, like, you know, two blades and all that kind of stuff. But in any case, you know, Palpatine says like, oh man, he's really impressive. And Mace is like, he still has much to learn. And even at one point, Palpatine like kind of meddles into Jedi affairs and goes like, hey, if the boy's having troubles, because, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself, but there's a point where some of the Jedi Padawans are like, yeah, he's good with a lightsaber, but he has no control over his emotions. He will never be a good Jedi. And then one of them goes like, yeah, like he's a slave to his emotions. And he's like, that's right, a slave. And then like Anakin hears it and goes like, what did you say? And he like goes like Anakin rage mode. Oh, sorry about my cursing. He like, you know, takes their lightsabers from their belts and like levitates them. He's like, what do you guys feel now? And then like, he's like, obviously he wants them to be afraid. And they're like, oh, sorry about that, you know. And I was like, yeah, don't mess with Anakin. He's not emotionally stable whatsoever. And if you're not good enough, he'll mess you up. And then that's when Palpatine says, oh, it seems like he has more to do with his training. He's like, have the boy come to my office. I'm not a Jedi, but I can, like, you know, get in his ear a little bit, obviously because he wants to actually, you know, manifest this dark side that's within Anakin. And at first, Mace is like, nah, it's okay. Kenobi can handle it. Jedi can handle it. And he's like, well, as I am the Supreme Chancellor, I think I can do this. And then he like takes it, and that whole happens. And I think that was awesome. And then just that whole aspect, you know, Anakin does have good intentions, but he has a loose cannon. You know, he does not have control of his emotions. And that is his overall flaw. He can't let things go. Like if someone just calls him a name, calls him a slave, like you'd be like, you don't need to fucking go off on him or anything like that. And I like that this is being highlighted in the comic itself, and it's really awesome that's happening. The one gripe I do have with this comic is that it is very short. Like that we got that one scene, we got the little animosity between Palpatine and Mace, and then we had the whole thing with Anakin. But then we cut right back to their mission, and we have this new tribe of people who I'm assuming were the natural inhabitants of that planet, and that they're there fending for themselves. Like there's a battle that's happening, and Anakin and Obi-Wan help, and then these women come up to them and they're like, who are you? Like designate yourself, like, you know, friend or foe. And they're like, what? We're Jedi. And then the women are like, what's a Jedi? So I'm intrigued to see what that's about, because I like the aspect of not everybody in the galaxy knows what a freaking Jedi is, you know, especially when Obi-Wan says there's only 10,000 of us and we're so far spread amongst all these star systems. Not everybody's gonna have seen a Jedi or even heard of a Jedi. So I want to see what this is about, and I like that this is being brought about. But I am very into this series. I'm very much like, I haven't really been excited by a Star Wars comic, if you guys have noticed, since Kanan first came out. They've all been good, you know, solid, but they haven't like really got me like stoked about it. And I'm really stoked about this comic book. I highly recommend it. Freaking go out to your comic book store, go to Amazon, go to marvel.com, just go read this comic. It's pretty solid. I am kind of overplaying it a little bit just so I can, you know, put that out there, but it's very good and I really like it. And I like this time period. I know we have had Jedi Quest, which is what chronicled Anakin and Obi-Wan's, you know, little relationship between episodes 1 and 2. So this so far hasn't really encroached on that so much. It's just kind of expanding on it. But it so far is good. Not as good as what I'm saying, but it's good. That's it, guys. Catch you on the next one. Peace, love, and may the Force be with you always.
Luke's open and calm mind allowed for a more adaptable fighting style, while Anakin's reliance on talent and aggression was a bit more rigid.
No, why are you mowing your lawn right now? I'm recording a Let's Play.